Alright guys, today we've got a sovereign citizen facing off against Judge Boyd, and this one is definitely different. Unlike most judges who shut these guys down immediately, she's actually trying to handle him with kindness. Honestly, I'm here for it. She's playing 4D chess while he's stuck playing checkers, and the way she calmly dismantles his nonsense is something you've got to see. This guy, though, he's just digging himself deeper with every word, struggling to keep track of his own lies while clinging to the usual sovereign citizen script that never works. Newsflash, buddy. Stalling won't save you. And let's not forget, lying in court is perjury, which is a serious crime. It's honestly embarrassing how clueless he is, and watching Judge Boyd completely outplay him without even raising her voice is pure gold. A competency evaluation might actually be necessary for cases like this. Sovereign citizens waste court time with their pseudo-legal nonsense, and maybe there should be a mandatory reality check exam before they're allowed to represent themselves. The law applies whether they acknowledge it or not, and no amount of gibberish is going to change that. Usually, I can't stand soft judges because they tend to be ineffective, but Judge Boyd? She's not soft at all. She's calculated in control, and handling this like a pro. The best part? This guy has no idea he's being played. He thinks he's outsmarting the system, but she's setting him up at every turn, and it's hilarious to watch. Let me know what you guys think. Does her approach work, or should judges be harsher on these sovereign citizens? Now, let's dive in and watch this all unfold.
For the record, I am the flesh and breathing man.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're breathing, so.
For the record, I wanted to make it known that I'm here on special appearance under threat, duress, and coercion. I need to know the jurisdiction this court is operating under.
So have a seat. Do you understand? Yes or no?
I do not understand.
All right. Do you understand what it means to take a seat?
I do understand.
All right. So take a seat.
If I don't come here, warrants will be placed, which I will be kidnapped and held hostage, and I do not want that.
Mr. Casanova, in the human flesh, I'm going to stop you right there. And I want you to hear me clearly.
Alright guys, today we've got a sovereign citizen facing off against Judge Boyd, and this one is a bit different. Unlike most judges who shut these guys down immediately, Judge Boyd takes a completely different approach. She actually tries to handle him with kindness. Honestly, I'm here for it. She's playing 4D chess while this guy is stuck playing checkers. Let me know what you think of her strategy as you watch. Now, let's dive in and see how she completely dismantles this guy.
How's it going?
Could be better.
All right. So my understanding, you want to represent yourself? All right. You're more than welcome to represent yourself, but here's the thing. Everybody says that they can be an attorney because all attorneys do is talk. That's what people think. But they don't realize there's a lot of knowledge, experience, and wisdom behind that.
Absolutely.
So if you want to have a jury trial where you represent yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. But once it's set for trial, it's going to trial, and no one's going to be helping you. The state is not going to say, hey, we see that you really don't know the rules, so let me tell you this rule. They're not going to be doing that. My job is not going to be to help you with objections, help you with motions. That's 100% you. Do you understand?
I do. And are we on the record?
No, we're not on the record. What, you want to put something on the record?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Sure. All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 2974, State of Texas Vector versus Hector Casanova. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? And are you Hector Casanova?
No, for the record, I am the flesh and breathing man. I'm here on a special appearance to clarify any misunderstanding. I am not the legal fiction known as Hector J. Casanova that is on the information there. I just have a few questions to clarify some things.
All right. So if you would like to clarify some things, then the person I need to speak to is the flesh and blood man known as Hector Casanova.
Yes, I'm the flesh and blood man, Hector Casanova Jr.
All right. So you are Hector Casanova, correct?
I am Hector Casanova Jr., the flesh and breathing man.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're breathing. So what did you want to place on the record?
Well, first, I don't understand the charges that are being brought against me. There are some clarifications I do want to.
All right, so
also-
just 1 second, but before we get to that, have you been given a copy of the indictment?
No, I have not.
All right, so we're going to get you a copy of the indictment. Just give me a moment. All right, have a seat. We're going to come back on the record with this.
All right.
So we're back on the record in 2024 CR 2974, State versus Hector Casanova. All right, Mr. Casanova, here's the thing. And I want you to hear me clearly. All right? I am not your attorney. The document that has been given you is a copy of the indictment. I'm not to give you information about your indictment. That's the indictment. That's what we're here for. So any questions that you would have about that indictment, you're going to have to answer those for yourself. Otherwise, the person who will be telling you about what the indictment means and what the numbers are, that will be an attorney. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
A competency evaluation might actually be a reasonable step in cases like these. Sovereign citizens operate under a deeply flawed and legally baseless ideology that disregards established jurisprudence, often leading to unnecessary delays and an inefficient use of court resources. While the right to self-representation is protected under Farda v. California, 1975, courts also have a vested interest in ensuring that defendants are competent to represent themselves. A potential solution, as you suggested, could involve a structured competency assessment for pro-SE litigants, perhaps akin to a pro-SE certification process, requiring them to demonstrate a basic understanding of procedural rules and constitutional principles before they are allowed to argue their own case. This would help mitigate the proliferation of frivolous legal arguments rooted in pseudo-legal theories. The fundamental misconception among sovereign citizens is their belief that statutory and constitutional laws do not apply to them if they simply refuse to acknowledge them. However, legal precedent firmly establishes that jurisdiction is determined by law, not personal consent. The courts have consistently rejected sovereign citizen arguments, as seen in cases such as United States v. Phillips, 1997, and United States v. Ben Abe, 2011, where judges unequivocally reaffirmed that self-declared immunity from laws is a legal fiction. At the end of the day, the legal system is designed to balance individual rights with societal order, and these individuals' persistent defiance does nothing but strain judicial resources. Instead of clinging to unfounded legal myths, they would be far better served by engaging competent legal counsel before they find themselves facing significant legal consequences.
Oh, what that means is, for example, we can go off the record. I'm giving you a hypothetical. All right? Let's say you needed surgery and you're in the middle of the wilderness, you need surgery, and you tell me and you tell the doctor, guess what? I'm performing this surgery on my own. I don't need you. I'm walking out of the hospital. I'm going to go in the desert. Now, maybe the doctor would try to stop you and do other things. But if you go in that desert by yourself, don't tell the doctor where you are. You take a scalpel out in the desert by yourself. You don't get to call the doctor and say, hey, I'm in the middle of the desert performing surgery. I'm going to be my own anesthesiologist. I'm doing all of this. How do you do this? Because they're not going to tell you. It's the same thing here. You're saying that you do not want to be represented by an attorney. You want to represent yourself. So that motion, that indictment, I'm not to tell you anything about what that indictment is. The state is not to tell you, oh, this is what this indictment means. This is the range of punishment. Those are things that you're supposed to do. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right. So just have a seat. This is what's going to end up happening. You're going to have an attorney. That attorney is going to come over to the court right now. You're going to speak to that attorney. After you speak to that attorney, we're going to go forward. Ms. Ferguson, can you call manage to sign counsel and let them know that we need an attorney over here? And that attorney will talk to you. That attorney will tell you what that indictment means. That attorney will tell you the range of punishment. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right. Well, I don't know how I can further make you understand.
Are we on the record?
Yeah. All right. Norma, get someone from manage to sign counsel here, please. All right. Just have a seat and we're going to have an attorney come down. All right.
I would like to ask some questions on the record, if I may, while I have your time here.
Oh, no. Let me just tell you, you'll have my time till 5 o'clock because that's how long we're here. What is going to end up happening is an attorney from managed assigned counsel is going to come down. Do you understand?
I do not understand because I I don't feel like I am needing an attorney because I'm here to represent myself as the flesh and breathing man, Hector Casanova Jr. Um, let's see. Um, all right. So let the let record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova
Just one
Jr.
second.
The
We're
accused
just
in
one
the
stop.
Yes, sorry.
All right, we're on the record. So what did you want the record to reflect?
So let the record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova Jr., the accused in this criminal action, has asked the court to divulge the nature and cause of the accusation upon the authority of the Sixth Amendment, and that this court has failed in its duty to inform me of the nature and
This guy is just digging himself deeper with every word. He can't even keep track of his own lies. The judge laid out exactly what he's being accused of, yet he's still sitting there acting clueless, like stalling is somehow going to make his sovereign citizen script work. Newsflash, buddy, it's not working. At this point, it's just embarrassing. How do you walk into a courtroom, get told exactly what you're charged with, and then act like the truth doesn't matter? It honestly feels like he's putting on a performance. And let's not forget, lying in court is perjury, which is a serious crime. I don't know how Judge Boyd is going to handle this, but she made everything crystal clear, and he's still lying straight to her face. This is not looking good for him.
This is not looking good for him.
All right, and
furthermore,
let me
let the
stop you.
record also show.
Mr. Casanova, let me ask you a question. Have you been given a copy of the indictment?
I believe so.
All right, so let the record reflect that Mr. Casanova has been given the copy of the indictment. And the copy of the indictment, it tells him what he is charged with. You may continue.
Now, these charges, are they civil? Is this a civil charge or a criminal charge?
All right, that is something that if you had an attorney to represent you, they would be able to tell you. What the court can tell you is that you are in a felony court and this is a criminal court.
Okay. So, this being a criminal, let the record of the court show that the action against me is criminal action. My following question would be, the Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under the admiralty or military tribunal. In which of these two jurisdictions does this court intend to try me?
All right, so this is what is going to happen, Mr. Casanova. Someone from managed assigned counsel is going to come over and you can speak with them or not speak with them. But the questions that you are asking the court are not, some of them are not in any shape, form, or fashion related to the fact that you're in a criminal district court. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll be violating your oath of office if you did your duty under the Constitution. I am not seeking legal advice. What I want to know is legal intent. I have the right to appear as myself in my own person without a licensed attorney. In order to intelligently defend myself, I need to know the jurisdiction this court is operating under. Let's see. So therefore, will you please answer the question so that way this court is properly identified?
All right, you're in the 187 District Court. It's a criminal court. You're on the 4th floor.
Thank you. This Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under
All right, I'm going
admiralty or military
to counsel.
tribunal.
I'm sorry, Mr. Casanova, in the human flesh. I'm going to stop you right there. What is going to end up happening, I want you to hear me clearly. An attorney is coming over for managed assigned counsel, period. That's it. So have a seat. Managed assigned counsel will come over. Do you understand? Yes or no?
I do not understand.
All right. Do you understand what it means to take a seat?
I do understand.
All right, so take a seat.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Usually, I can't stand soft judges because they tend to be ineffective. Most don't know how to handle sovereign citizens properly. But honestly, I don't think Judge Boyd is soft at all. She's calm, collected, and completely in control, and her approach is working perfectly on this guy. I actually think this might be the best way to deal with sovereign citizens. Yelling at them just makes them double down, but Judge Boyd is handling it like a pro. She's carefully thinking through every answer, responding wisely, and outplaying him at every turn. The best part? He has no idea. He really thinks he's got it all figured out, but she's playing him like a fiddle, setting up traps that he walks right into every time. It's honestly hilarious to watch. Let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about her approach so far?
We have talked. I've informed him that I'm here, to help him in whatever he needs help with. He's going to consider what help he thinks he might need from me, and I know he wants to put something on the record.
Okay. All right. And so you'll be appointed as standby
Yes.
counsel then?
I've kind of explained my role and what that means and how I can help him with something as simple as e-filing or that type of thing. So.
All right. We're going to go back on the record in 2024 CR 2974, State versus Hector Casanova. Mr. Casanova, if you'll come forward. Yes. All right. So, Mr. Casanova, Mr. Bonk is going to be your standby